Howdy y'all, it's Aaron here, and today I want to share with you the top mistakes I see with clothing boutiques and apparel brands that put them out of business and how to avoid them. Alright, so as always, make sure that you grab something to take notes with and stick around until the end where I'm going to share with you how you can almost guarantee to stay in business for the long term. Alright, so number one is to quit copying the competition. First of all, you don't really know if they are successful, right? I put that in air quotes, but even if they are, they're likely 2 steps ahead of you if you're trying to copy them. Alright, so what I'm talking about more specifically is the creative sides of things, right? So everybody knows that you can copy people's Facebook ads, you can see those online. But in the online world, you must be able to sell your clothes to strangers at a profit, and the best way that you can do that is with great creative. Alright, so nothing stops the scroll faster on social media than great creative. Some have even coined the term disruption marketing because you're disrupting the organic viewing pleasure, so it better be really good or they're gonna just keep scrolling. What happens when you copy your competition is you get into the comparison game, and that's never good for your ego, your life, your business. And I've seen too many times where you will stop and miss opportunities and step into the wrong thing because you're too focused on someone else, and it really just pushes you farther back than forward. All right, so don't do it, right? I want to get this over with for this part of the video. Don't do it, but you should review them for inspiration, but don't copy them exactly, because like I said, it's gonna push you farther back than it is forward. All right, let's move on. All right, guys, before we cover number 2, I just wanna say howdy. My name is Aaron Pearson. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and we are an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing boutiques and apparel brands grow and scale profitably online. Alright, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the latest strategies for clothing boutiques and apparel brands. We drop new content every single week. Alright, so number 2 is turning on a campaign and relying on hope. So your campaigns will only be as successful as you allow them to be. Now, you're probably thinking, but Aaron, I want them to be super successful. Okay, and my response back to you would be, then why the heck do you keep turning them off before you give Facebook a chance to learn? Now, it can be hard to leave an ad up, especially when the old adage is that after 72 hours, you should have enough data to make a decision on whether or not the ad is good. However, with the new iOS updates, what we're seeing for people is depending on the amount of data that Facebook's getting, you need 5 to 10 days before Facebook has enough information to tell you if the ad is gonna work well or not. Turning on and off campaigns is honestly the absolute best way for your ads to never be successful. Trust me, I know firsthand. As someone who wants results right now, it's so difficult for me to let a campaign carry on without amazing results, especially with this new update and letting it run for a whole week where you just don't have enough data. I hear you, but trust me, just do it. Give yourself the week and it will give you the data you need to make educated decisions so you can get out of any type of learning phase or frustration phase that you have in your ads. All right, so number 3 is to quit using interest targeting. The cheapest cost per 1,000 impression, which is what Facebook charges you for, is when you are able to give Facebook more data. Now, going broad works if you have a $200 to $250 a day budget with great creative, or you can run your ads for a long period of time. Facebook needs the data to figure out who your audience is, and then it will begin to get better and better and better. If you can't go broad, but have at least 1,000 past purchasers, right? So this is customer data that you can upload into Facebook as a list. You can create a lookalike audience of a 3%. Now, you want to get into like the details of Facebook ads and all of that, then just make sure that you check out this video right here where we go in depth on how to create those ads. But you want to create a 3% lookalike audience, run this as an ABO, which stands for ad set budget optimization, instead of running it at the campaign level, giving Facebook and having you take more control. So instead of just telling you about it, let me just show you what I mean by setting this up inside of Ads Manager. All right, so now that we're inside of Ads Manager, I'm gonna show you the breakdown of this campaign. And like I said, if you needed to create a business manager, if you needed help with ads, just go check out any of our other videos. We have all the list there as far as how to set up the business manager, super quick video, and how to create these ads. But I want to show you, we actually set up 2 here that are set up as an ABO. So one campaign that's going to the 3%, and we have a 10%. We're actually testing this to see which one will work better. Like I said, if you can, you go broad, and our broad here is a 10%. But we also wanted to test the 3% as well. This is a 7-day click. It just started, so it really doesn't have enough traction. Like this, these numbers are obviously skewed. It's a 9 and a 2 as far as purchases, 9 for the 10%, 2 for the 3%. However, this has not been running for 7 days. I don't believe anyway. No. And so since it hasn't been running for 7 days, it may be completely flipped. The 10% may actually be worse than the 3%, and we just kind of have to live in Facebook's world here. But my point is that you want to just set it up as an ABO. This 3%, very easily explained, is a lookalike audience of the past purchasers, and then we created a 3%, which means that it's closer to mimicking the past purchasers. The 1% would be the closest, 2% a little bit farther, and 3%. We just wanted a bigger audience. This audience size is about close to 5 million versus you get about 2 million out of a 1%, and we just need to give Facebook more data. So this is a post iOS, post privacy update. Now, we narrowed down by age and gender, and then did a 3% lookalike. But that's the only thing we narrowed by. And then we took off the audience network. So you can see inside of here. One thing that we would have changed, however, we already started here, is I like to do 1-day click versus 7-day. This is just something that already started with the campaign, and we don't want to make changes, much as I mentioned earlier in the video. All right, so 3% there. And then what do we have creative-wise? So this is just a dynamic creative video. A creative content rather. We do have a video in here as well. You can see this content there. We're gonna update those today actually. And we do have a video on dynamic creative if you're interested in what we're talking about here, but this allows Facebook to choose up to 250 different variations of, you can see here, several images, graphics, lifestyle photos, videos, 5 different sets of text, 5 different sets of headlines, and then combination of all of those put together gives Facebook the data to figure out its winner. So anyway, what you'll find pretty quickly here, like I said, is this, let's look at this 10%. If you look at it actually, it's made 4 times its money. That's awesome. Again, who knows if that's actually accurate or not. We have other software that will tell us a little bit more data, but so 3 of the purchases happened. If it will show me here. All right, 3 of the purchases happened on this one image. Another purchase happened here. So we know that this video does well and this image has done well. So we know as of right now. Like I said, let it run for the week, give it 7 to 10 days, then this data is going to be a little bit more accurate. But I did want to show you kind of what this looked like campaign-wise and ad set-wise. And you can add in as many ad sets as you'd like I mentioned earlier, because it is ABO. And since it's ABO, you don't have to worry about adding in too many ad sets and distributing budget to different places. This is like more of a test 1, where you figure out which audience you're going to choose, and then you would put it into a CBO. Probably another video on that, but that allows the campaign to choose which audiences to focus on versus you telling Facebook where to go. And then as the absolute last resort, you can run interest targeting. Now, interest targeting is a short-term fix, and it may get better results for you over the next 3 to 4 weeks, but broad will help you get an ROI that you need over the next 3 to 4 months. Going broad will drop the cost per 1,000 impressions dramatically, which couples with great creative will increase the reach and sales long-term. Before I show you how to take and use Facebook to your advantage and stop making big mistakes and actually start getting results with your advertising, I did want to tell you about our free masterclass training for clothing boutiques and apparel brands that will walk you through the 5 pillars that you must have in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably no matter what is going on in the world. Make sure you check the description for the link on that training. All right, so number 4, the 4th thing that I would say that it's honestly one of the biggest issues that people have, and if you can get this right, it will help out a lot. So number 4 is the wrong setup. If you set up your campaign incorrectly, it doesn't matter how good everything else is. Now, targeting the wrong audience with the wrong creative at the wrong time equals a whole heck of a lot of wasted money and even more frustration. So to avoid that, let me walk you through how to set up a campaign properly for your ads right now. So to create this campaign, we're gonna do it quickly. I'm gonna label it click quickly, but also just wanted to give you an opportunity to see behind the scenes here, if you haven't watched any of our other content, how I would set up this particular campaign. All right, so on here, we're gonna go for conversions. All right, so now that we're in Ads Manager, I just wanna show you real quickly how to set this up if you've never seen any of our other videos, and you can check out those ones for a little bit more detail. But let's go here and click Create. We're always gonna choose conversions. I will not do my typical rant about why you should not choose, why you should only choose conversions because you want conversions. It can be a little confusing. But anyway, so this conversions campaign was called EA for Ecom Accelerator, and then it is prospecting because we're going after new customers. The ad set, we are going to go broad. I'll just show you how to do broad because that is the easiest. And then we will go dynamic, creative for fall. It's technically not fall right now, but it's the first thing that came to mind. So we'll go here. Facebook will load. We want to set this up as a CBO. Typically, like I said, if you haven't figured out anything yet, you'd want to set it up as an ABO. That's what we mentioned a little bit earlier in this video. But once you have everything up and running, you can start out with a $100 a day budget. I would go to the CBO. Once you figure out your audience, you have the budget, move to this route. There we go. Want the ads to run at all times. Don't worry about scheduling anything. I have seen people work with that and it's done well, but not something that I've tested myself. All right, so age, we know that this particular audience is like 21 to 40. We're going after like basically new moms, so there may be some people outside of 40, but majority of these people are gonna be within this age range. Then manual placements, we're gonna take off audience network just because it sounds funny, but like dexterity is a real thing, meaning that like there are people with fat fingers and they'll be inside of an app or whatever else and accidentally click your button when they're trying to scroll up or they get a notification and you get charged for that. So just probably try to avoid it as much as possible. We'll stick to big images and big chances for people to click on your content. Next thing is the attribution window. So I won't go on to this too much. 1 day click, 1 day view. What this means is that like you want Facebook to try to find somebody who's going to make a purchase within 1 day. It doesn't mean that they've been looking for that product for only 1 day and will make a purchase. It just means that they're most likely to make a purchase within that 1 day. And the reason you want to do that is because hopefully you have a lot of other marketing channels set up, whether it's email or there's live selling, and you really want to be able to attribute Facebook to whichever sale happened, right? So the last click that actually got the purchase, was it actually email? Was it Facebook? And this is where a lot of people got into an issue where they would say, hey, Facebook got a sale, so did my email, so did live selling. And then what happened is they didn't have 3 sales, they just had 1. And it was because this wasn't set up correctly. So do 1 day click so you can actually see if Facebook's driving real sales for you. All right, next thing here is dynamic creative. Whoops, we do want to go back to broad. Let me go back to the ad set level. You have to click this button right here, very important. It says dynamic creative. Once we do that, it means that the whole ad set is going to be used towards this ad, which basically means that you can't add in another ad set to try to target these pieces of creative, these photos and videos. We're going to choose our page for Facebook and Instagram. We'll add in our text, our headlines. And you can see here that we can add more options. I will not go add a ton of options. You have to put in your website address. This is our website address. Doesn't really matter too much. Keep it as shop now, just a little bit nicer there. Make sure you select your domain. Make sure that if you do have an app, you turn on your app events. This will allow you to track offline events within your app. Probably another video on that, just a little bit more that goes on with it. And then let's see here. All right, so different creative. We can select up to 10 images here if we wanted to. I'm just gonna select 2, just to show you like, hey, look, this is what you would do. So it says 2 of 10. You can add 8 more. And then after that, just proofread and you're ready to publish. That's it. That's the quick setup, right? Just a couple of minutes to set that up. Obviously, you're going to go through it a little bit more meticulously. Maybe that's too big of a word here. You're going to go over it a little bit more closely than what I did here. But most importantly, make sure you have good creative. Make sure you test out your headlines and your descriptions. And then right there, publish. You could be live in 30 minutes. All right, so once you have this set up and are starting to see success and really want to double your sales, then I need to share with you how to get your own app and dramatically increase profit. Just comment app down below if this is you, and I will share with you an amazing resource. All right, so you're equipped with everything you need right now to be successful in your apparel brand. It's now time to go and implement. And if you want the latest ad strategy of what's working right now, make sure you go check out this video right here. All right, y'all, have a great day.